There are moments in life when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear, when every step forward feels like sinking deeper into the storm, and every breath feels like a battle against invisible forces trying to drag you under. But even in these moments, even in the heart of the deepest night, there is a light that refuses to be extinguished, a hope that refuses to die. It may seem faint, barely a whisper against the roaring winds of despair, but it is there steadfast and waiting for you to reach out and claim it. You were not made to live defeated. You were not created to drown in sorrow. You were crafted with a spirit strong enough to rise above the flood, a heart courageous enough to push through the shadows. There is something in you that the darkness cannot touch, something that was planted before the storms began, and it is calling you now, calling you to stand, to fight, to believe again. No matter how many times you have fallen, no matter how lost you feel, you are not forgotten, you are not alone. The journey ahead may be rugged, the nights ahead may be cold, but each step you take in faith, each breath you draw in courage builds a bridge from despair to destiny. This message today is not born out of ease, but out of the fire of struggle, the fire that refines and does not destroy, the fire that proves you are stronger than the chains that seek to bind you. Lift your head, weary soul, for the battle is not over, and your victory has already been written. If only you will dare to rise one more time. There are seasons in life when everything around you seems cloaked in darkness, when the nights stretch longer than your heart can endure, and the voices of fear and failure ring louder than the promises of hope. It is in these moments when the soul is tempted to believe that the light has been extinguished, that the battle has been lost. But even when the night is thick, even when the storm is fierce, even when the winds howl and the waves roar, there remains a flicker of light within you, a tiny flame that refuses to die. This light is not something you created. It is not something you earned. It is something placed within you by a power far greater than you, a seed of divine purpose planted deep in the soil of your heart, and it cannot be uprooted by the tempests of life. No matter how fierce, no matter how long you may stumble, you may fall, you may feel forgotten and forsaken, but that light within you still burns. Though it may flicker, it will not be extinguished. Though it may seem faint, it will not fail. Though it may appear hidden, it is waiting patiently for you to believe again, to reach out again, to trust again. The darkness you are facing is not the end of your story. It is the backdrop against which the brilliance of your light will shine even brighter. You were never promised a life without storms, but you were promised a light that would never leave you. Even in the midst of them, it is easy to believe when the skies are clear. It is easy to hope when the road is smooth, but true faith, true strength, true greatness is forged in the fires of adversity. It is born in the nights when you have every reason to give up, and yet you choose to press on. When you have every reason to despair, and yet you choose to hope. When you have every reason to run, and yet you choose to stand. There is a sacred courage in simply refusing to surrender, a holy defiance in lifting your head even when your heart is breaking. There is a power in you greater than the darkness around you. You may not feel it, you may not see it, but it is there, unwavering, unyielding, unstoppable. When you walk through the valleys, when you sit under the crushing weight of sorrow, when you wonder if you will ever feel joy again, remember that even the smallest flicker of light can pierce the deepest darkness. The flame inside you is not a sign of weakness. It is a mark of destiny. It is a sign that you have been chosen for something greater than you can now imagine. The pain you are enduring is not wasted. The tears you have shed are not forgotten. They are watering the seeds of your future victories. The very struggles that seek to break you are the very struggles that will shape you into a warrior of light, a beacon for others who have lost their way. Your life is not meant to be hidden under the shadow of despair. Your story is not meant to end in defeat. You are called to rise. You are called to shine. You are called to overcome, even when the night drags on, even when the answers do not come, even when the heavens seem silent. You are being prepared. You are being refined. You are being readied for a purpose beyond your current understanding. The flicker of light inside you is not there by accident. It is not there by coincidence. It is a reminder that you were made for more than survival. You were made for victory. You were made for greatness. The darkness may surround you, but it does not define you. The storms may batter you, but they do not determine your destiny. You are not the sum of your failures. You are not the total of your fears. You are the bearer of a light that cannot be overcome, and that light, though small, though fragile, though trembling at times, is enough. It is enough to guide you through the valley. It is enough to lead you to the mountaintop. It is enough to light the path for others who are lost in their own night. Do not despise the flicker. Do not curse the night. Instead, hold fast to the light within you. Nurture it, feed it, protect it, believe in it, for in due time it will grow, it will strengthen, it will blaze forth with a glory that will scatter the darkness and proclaim to the world that light has triumphed over shadow, that hope has conquered despair, that life has overcome death. You are more than your current struggle. You are more than your present pain. You are a carrier of hope, vessel of promise, a living testament to the power of the light that never gives up, never gives in, and never grows dim. The night cannot last forever. The darkness cannot win. The dawn is coming. The sun will rise. And when it does, the light within you will join the light around you, and together they will declare a new day, a new beginning, a new victory. You may be weary, you may be wounded, but you are not finished. You may be broken, you may be bruised, but you are not defeated. You are still breathing, you are still fighting, you are still carrying that sacred flicker within you, and that flicker will become a flame, that flame will become a fire, that fire will become an inferno of purpose and passion and power that nothing in this world can quench. Do not give up, do not give in, do not surrender. The night may be long, but your light is longer. The darkness may be deep, but your destiny is deeper. You were made to rise, you were made to overcome, you were made to shine. Let that flicker remind you even now, even here, even in this valley, that your greatest days are still ahead, that your brightest victories are still to come, that your finest hour is yet to be revealed. Hold fast to the light, dear soul, for it will lead you home. There is a moment that comes to every soul striving toward a dream, a moment when the weight of the journey feels too great and the distance left to travel seems endless, a moment when hope feels like a cruel illusion and surrender seems like the only relief. But it is in that very moment, in that crucible of despair, that you must understand you are closer to your breakthrough than you have ever been. You are nearer to your destiny than your weary heart dares to believe. You are standing on ground that may feel barren, but is soaked with the tears of your perseverance and ready to birth a harvest beyond your imagination. Giving up now would be like turning back from the summit when the peak is just beyond the clouds. You may not see it with your eyes, you may not feel it in your heart, but the unseen is no less real than the seen, and victory often lies hidden just beyond the next breath, the next step, the next act of courage, when the night is darkest, when the battle is fiercest, when the silence is deafening. That is when the enemy of your soul presses hardest, because he knows you are about to step into something powerful, something life-changing, something that will not only bless you, but those who follow after you. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. Your struggle has not been wasted. Every tear you have cried has been gathered. Every prayer you have whispered into the void has been heard. Every act of courage, great or small, has been recorded in a place where nothing is lost and everything is redeemed. The temptation to give up is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you have come too far to turn back. Now it is a sign that what you are carrying, what you are building, what you are becoming is of such value that resistance had to rise up to try to stop you. But resistance is not a prophecy of defeat. It is a confirmation of purpose. It is evidence that your journey matters, that your calling is real, that your impact will be greater than you know. You have endured storms that would have broken lesser spirits. You have faced mountains that would have turned weaker souls away. You have walked through valleys so deep that the sunlight felt like a distant memory, and yet you are still here, still breathing, still believing, even if only by a thread. And that thread is enough. That thread is stronger than it seems, because it is woven by hands far stronger than your own. You are not held together by your own strength, but by a grace that refuses to let you go, a grace that will carry you when your legs can no longer stand, a grace that will lift you when your arms fall limp by your side. The closer you are to the promise, the harder the battle will feel, not because you are failing, but because you are forging the character, the strength, the wisdom necessary to sustain the promise when it comes. You see, success without struggle is shallow and fleeting, but success forged in the fires of perseverance is unshakable, and enduring it is the kind of success that builds legacies, that heals generations, that transforms lives far beyond your own when you feel like giving up. Remember that you are not walking alone. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, by the silent prayers of those who love you, by the unseen hands that lift you. When you stumble, you are part of a story larger than yourself, a story of redemption, a story of hope, a story of triumph over darkness. You are standing on ground paid for by the sacrifices of those who came before you and your perseverance. Now will pave the way for those who come after you. Do not measure your progress by what you see in the moment. Measure it by the truth that you are being changed, even now being shaped, even now being strengthened, even now into the kind of soul who can not only reach the summit but can call others to rise as well. There is a strength in you that has yet to be fully revealed, a fire that has yet to fully blaze, a song that has yet to fully be sung, and it will come forth not in the absence of struggle but because of it, because you chose to stay when you wanted to flee, because you chose to fight when you wanted to surrender, because you chose to believe when everything around you screamed. Otherwise, your victory is not just about you. It is about every life. You will touch every soul. You will inspire every generation that will rise because you chose not to quit when it would have been easier to walk away. You are closer than you think, closer to the healing you have begged for, closer to the dreams you have nurtured in secret, closer to the peace you have longed for in your darkest nights. Do not let the enemy rob you of your reward. Do not let weariness steal what perseverance has won. You are not at the end. You are at the threshold. You are not being buried. You are being planted. And soon, very soon, you will rise with a strength that the world cannot ignore and a joy that the darkness cannot diminish. Take one more step. Breathe one more breath. Whisper one more prayer. Lift your eyes from the dust and dare to believe that you are closer than you think. And the finish line, though hidden from sight, is nearer than your fears have led you to believe. Your life is not a mistake. Your dreams are not in vain. Your heartaches are not meaningless. You are being shaped by hands that know what they are doing. You are being guided by wisdom that sees the end from the beginning. You are being carried by a love that will never let you go. You are closer than you think, closer to joy, closer to peace, closer to the life you were created to live. Hold on, weary soul. Hold on, wounded heart. Your breakthrough is at hand. And when it comes, it will be worth every tear, every struggle, every sleepless night, every step of this long, hard, beautiful journey. You are almost there. So do not give up. Now the world needs the light that only you can bring, the story that only you can tell, the victory that only you can win. You are closer than you think, closer than you feel, closer than you can imagine. And your best days are not behind you. They are before you, waiting just on the other side of your perseverance. There will be seasons in your life when it feels like the pages have run out, when it seems the ink has dried and the story you hope to write has crumbled into dust in your hands. There will be nights when the dreams you once cherished lie shattered at your feet, and all that echoes in your soul is the deafening silence of unanswered prayers. It is in these moments that despair whispers its most convincing lie, that your story is over, that your best days are behind you, that nothing good can rise from the ruins of what has been lost. But I am here to remind you with a voice fueled by truth and hope that your story isn't over yet, not by a long shot, not by the deepest valley, nor the fiercest storm, nor most painful failure you have known. Your story is still unfolding, still being written, still breathing with the promise of redemption and renewal. You may feel forgotten, you may feel discarded, but the author of life has not put down his pen. He has not walked away from the masterpiece. He is crafting in you even now, even in the heartbreak, even in the waiting, even in the unbearable silence. There is a greater chapter ahead, one you cannot yet see, but one that is being prepared for you with care and wisdom and love beyond your imagining. When everything in you screams to give up, when the weight of yesterday feels like a chain around your soul, when the future looks like a barren wasteland, remember that endings are often disguised beginnings, and what feels like a final period is often only a pause, a breath, a gathering of strength before the next beautiful sentence is written. You are not abandoned. You are not beyond repair. You are not disqualified by your pain. You are precisely the kind of soul through whom the greatest stories are told. because the most powerful tales are not the ones without struggle. They are the ones where the hero falls and rises again, until standing in the strength that could only be forged through fire. You are not the mistakes you have made. You are not the battles you have lost. You are not the dreams that died in your hands. You are the courage that stayed when it would have been easier to run. You are the hope that flickered when everything around you tried to snuff it out. You are the resilience that refuses to be defined by defeat. Every scar you carry is not a mark of shame, but a testament to the battles you survived. Every tear you shed is not a sign of weakness, but a seed planted for a future harvest of joy. Every dark night you endured without surrender is a chapter that speaks of a warrior heart that knows no defeat. The world may not have seen the battles you have fought behind closed doors, the victories won on your knees, the courage it took to simply get out of bed on the days when despair sat heavy on your chest, but heaven saw it. Heaven recorded every act of quiet bravery, every whispered prayer, every trembling step forward. When fear told you to quit, your life is precious beyond measure. Your purpose is too great to be abandoned in the valley of discouragement. The light within you, though it may dim, is not extinguished. The dreams within you, though they may slumber, are not dead. They are waiting for the season when the soil of your heart is ready to bear them again, waiting for the moment when the ashes of what you lost give birth to something stronger, something purer, something more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. When you hold on, when you dare to believe, when you choose to trust in the silence, you are allowing the greatest chapter of your story to be written. You are partnering with a destiny that stretches far beyond your present pain. You are weaving a testimony that will speak life and hope to those who come after you. There is a day coming when you will look back on this valley and you will see it not as the place where your story ended, but as the place where it truly began, not as the grave of your dreams, but as the womb where new dreams were conceived. You will see that the darkness you feared was not a tomb, but a cocoon, a place of transformation, where you were made ready to soar higher than you ever thought possible. You are not forgotten, dear soul. You are not abandoned. You are not forsaken. You are loved. You are chosen. You are called. And nothing, not the depths of your pain, not the breadth of your mistakes, not the length of your waiting, can erase that truth. You are being shaped in ways you cannot yet comprehend, strengthened in ways you cannot yet measure, prepared for battles you have not yet fought, and victories you have not yet dreamed of. Your story isn't over, because the one who holds your story is faithful, and he never leaves a work unfinished. The dreams placed in your heart were not illusions. They were seeds, and though they may seem buried, they are not dead. They are waiting for their appointed time to break forth in glory. You may not feel strong. You may not feel worthy. You may not feel capable, but you are not called to walk by feeling. You are called to walk by faith, and faith declares, even in the silence, even in the sorrow, even in the darkness, that the story is still being written, that the final chapter will be more beautiful than the first, that the end will be greater than the beginning. Lift your head, dear one. Wipe your tears. Take another step. Even if your legs tremble, even if your heart doubts, even if your soul aches, take another step, because every step you take in faith is a declaration that your story is not over, that hope still lives, that love still reigns, that purpose still burns within you. You are not walking alone. You never have, you never will. There are hands unseen lifting you. There are prayers unspoken surrounding you. There is a love unbreakable sustaining you. You may feel small, you may feel broken, but in the hands of the master storyteller, small things become mighty broken, things become whole, and stories that seem destined for tragedy become epics of redemption and glory. Hold on, dear heart, hold on when the night is long, hold on when the pain cuts deep, hold on when the future seems lost, because you are closer than you think to a breakthrough you cannot yet see, to a joy you cannot yet comprehend, to a life more beautiful than the one you have dared to dream. Your story isn't over, it is only just beginning. There is a place deep within the soul where true strength is born, a place that cannot be reached by ease or comfort or effortless victories. It is a place that only reveals itself when every fiber of your being screams for you to give up. when your legs tremble from the weight of the battle, when your heart feels battered and bruised from too many unanswered prayers, when your spirit aches under the crushing load of disappointment, it is in those sacred moments when quitting seems like the only logical choice that strength is forged, real strength, the kind that cannot be shaken by the winds of adversity or extinguished by the storms of life, is not built when life is easy. It is built when life is hard. It is built in the hidden places where no one sees the silent battles fought in the quiet hours, when no applause is heard and no reward is given. It is built when you decide to take one more step, when you feel you have nothing left to give, when you whisper one more prayer. Even though the heavens feel silent, when you stand to fight one more time, even though defeat seems inevitable, strength is not a trophy awarded at the end of the journey. It is the invisible reward given in the journey. The very act of not giving up, in the choosing to endure, and the decision to trust, even when trust feels foolish. You see, anyone can keep going when the path is easy. Anyone can stay the course when success seems guaranteed, but it takes a soul of uncommon courage to persevere when every step feels like agony, when every breath feels like a battle, when the end is nowhere in sight and the night stretches on without promise of dawn. And yet it is in those very moments when everything within you cries out for relief, when your mind tells you to surrender, when your heart begs you to stop, that you are being shaped into something greater than you can imagine. You are being refined by fire. You are being molded by the very pressures that seek to break you, and though it feels like you are being crushed, you are in truth being strengthened for the weight of the destiny that lies ahead. Strength is built not in the moment of victory, but in the countless unseen moments of refusal to quit, when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when no one is there to pick you up, but you rise anyway, not because you feel strong, but because something within you refuses to let go. You are not weak because you struggle. You are strong because you fight. You are not a failure because you feel afraid. You are courageous because you move forward anyway. Fear is not the enemy. Giving up is not even the enemy. Despair is not the enemy. The only true enemy is the voice that says it is too late, that you are too broken, that you have come too far to turn things around. But I am here to tell you that as long as there is breath in your lungs, there is hope in your future, and the strength are building today in the hidden moments of perseverance will carry you to places you cannot yet dream of. Your struggle is not wasted. Your pain is not meaningless. Every moment you choose to stay the course is another stone laid in the foundation of an unshakable life, a life that can weather storms, a life that can lift others from the ashes, a life that testifies to the power of endurance in a world that too often seeks the easy way out. There is a strength being birthed in you that the world desperately needs, a strength that does not falter at the first sign of difficulty, a strength that does not crumble when dreams are delayed, a strength that stands tall when others fall away, when you want to quit, but you do not. You are becoming the kind of person who can carry the dreams placed inside you without being crushed by them. You are becoming the kind of person who can lead others through their own storms because you have walked through the fire and come out stronger, not in spite of it, but because of it. The muscles of your spirit are being torn and stretched and worn thin, but they are also being rebuilt, tougher and more resilient than before. And though you may not see growth, though you may not feel the strength growing, it is happening in the unseen spaces where real change always happens. Do not despise the struggle. Do not despise the pain, for these are the tools that carve greatness from ordinary stone. These are the fires that burn away the impurities and leave behind the gold. You are stronger than you know. You are braver than you feel. You are more resilient than you can comprehend. And every time you choose to press forward, every time you choose to lift your head and keep moving, you are proving to the world and to yourself that you are not easily broken. You are not easily defeated. You are a warrior forged in the fires of perseverance, and that kind of strength, that kind of tenacity is rare, and it is precious, and it is powerful. One day you will look back on these moments, the moments when you almost quit but chose to stay, the moments when you felt empty but chose to believe, and you will see that these were the moments that defined you, not the victories, not the applause, not the accolades, but the silent personal battles where you stood when everything in you wanted to fall down and stay down. Strength is built in the moments you want to quit, because it is there in that crucible that you make a decision to believe in something greater than your present pain, a decision to trust that your future is worth fighting for, a decision to refuse to let your temporary feelings dictate your eternal destiny. Every time you choose perseverance over surrender, every time you choose hope over despair, every time you choose faith over fear, you are adding another layer to the fortress of strength within you, and one day that fortress will stand as a beacon for others, a lighthouse for the lost, a testimony that it is possible to endure, it is possible to overcome, it is possible to rise from the ashes, stronger and more radiant than ever before. You may not see it now, but strength is being built within you each moment you choose not to give up when you want to, and one day you will realize that what you thought would break you was in fact what made you unbreakable. There is a place that many find themselves one day, a place so low, so broken, so barren, that it feels as if life itself is drained away. It is the bottom. It is the place where dreams have died, where plans have crumbled, where strength has vanished, and hope feels like a faint memory, and yet it is there, right there in that rock bottom place, that something incredible begins to happen. Because you see, it is only when we reach the end of ourselves that we find the beginning of something greater. It is only when we have nothing left to lean on that we discover the source of true strength. It is only when we fall flat and all our efforts have failed that we are ready to be lifted by a hand stronger than our own. You may feel today like you are too far gone, too broken, too lost, but I tell you, you are in the perfect place for a miracle. You are standing at the very threshold of a new beginning. You are closer than you think to the breakthrough. Cannot yet see. Rock bottom is not the end. It is often the birthplace of true transformation, because at the bottom there are no more illusions to cling to, no more masks to wear, no more pretenses to uphold. There is only the raw, honest reality of your need, and in that need you become ready, ready to be remade, ready to be renewed, ready to be restored. There is hope still alive within you. It may be buried under the rubble of regret. It may be suffocated by the weight of shame. It may be trembling beneath layers of sorrow, but it is not dead. It is not extinguished. It is not gone. It is alive. It is whispering even now in the deepest parts of your heart. Keep going. Do not give up. You are not finished yet. Your life is not a mistake. Your journey is not a waste. Your failures do not disqualify you. Your brokenness does not disprove your worth. In fact, it is the very soil from which new beginnings grow. It is the very foundation upon which the most beautiful rebuildings are constructed. You may feel like everything good has been stripped away, but the truth is the most precious things cannot be stripped away. Not your dignity, not your worth, not your destiny. They may be buried, they may be hidden for a time, but they are not destroyed. And now in this low place, you are being given the sacred opportunity to rise again, not as who you were, but as someone new, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more compassionate and more courageous than you ever dreamed you could be. Do not fear the rebuilding. Do not despise the starting over, for what you build from this place will be stronger than what you had before. What you create now will be rooted deeper than anything you created in your own strength. Because now you know the taste of true hunger. Now you know the value of true hope. Now you know that every breath is a gift and every step forward is a victory. You are not starting from nothing. You are starting from experience, from lessons learned, from wisdom carved by pain. You are starting with a heart that has been softened by suffering and strengthened by survival. You are starting with a spirit that has been refined by fire and is now more pure, more resilient, more powerful than ever before. Hope is still alive because the future is not written yet. and your best days are not behind you, they are ahead of you, waiting for you to rise from the ashes and claim them. You may not feel ready, you may not feel capable, but readiness is not the requirement. Willingness is. You do not have to have it all figured out. You do not have to have every step planned. You only need to take the next step, the small one, the trembling one, the one that says, I refuse to stay down. I refuse to believe that this is the end of my story. The dawn does not always announce itself with trumpets and bright skies. Sometimes it comes quietly slipping into the cracks of your broken heart, whispering that healing is possible, that joy can be found again, that life can be beautiful again. Hope does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, but its whispers are powerful enough to move mountains if you dare to believe it. If you dare to hold on to it when everything around you says to let go, this is not the end. It is a new beginning. It is a fresh start. It is the first page of a new chapter, and this chapter will not be written by despair. It will be written by hope. It will be written by faith. It will be written by the hands of one who knows that true greatness is not found in never falling, but in rising. Every time you fall, you are not defined by how low you have fallen. You are defined by how powerfully you rise. You are defined by the courage it takes to get back up when getting up feels impossible. You are defined by the decision to believe in a future brighter than your past. Every sunrise that touches the earth after the darkest night is a testimony that hope still lives. Every seed that pushes through the hard soil after a long winter is a reminder that new life is possible even after death. Every broken heart that dares to love again, every shattered dream that finds new wings, every weary soul that chooses to hope again is proof that the story is never really over unless you choose to stop writing it. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. You are more loved than you can imagine. You are not alone in your battle. You are not abandoned in your pain. You are not invisible in your struggle. There are unseen forces moving on your behalf. There are unseen hands holding you up. There are unseen promises waiting to be fulfilled. Your rock bottom is not your prison. It is your foundation. It is the place from which you will build something more beautiful than you ever thought possible. It is the place where humility births greatness, where brokenness births compassion, where desperation births faith. And that faith will carry you further than talent ever could. That faith will sustain you longer than strength ever would. That faith will light your way when every other light has gone out. Hope is alive, dear heart. Hope is alive. And it is calling you forward one step at a time, one breath at a time, one small act of courage at a time. You do not have to leap. You do not have to soar. You simply have to stand, simply have to move, simply have to believe that somehow, in some way, better days are coming, and they are coming faster than you think. The ground you thought was your grave will become your launching pad. The place where you thought your dreams died will become the birthplace of dreams greater than you dared to dream. The ashes of your yesterday will become the soil of your tomorrow. From rock bottom to new beginnings, hope is still alive, and so are you.